Hello there. This is Bev. This is the Bev D Show. And I had some difficulty yesterday with sound, and so this is just going to be a reading today. I'm doing a test to make sure that it all sounds good. I'm actually adjusting things as we speak. So when you're creating a studio and rearranging things, sometimes those things happen. But I thought I would make this very simple and sweet and short, if you will. I had originally written, I guess I wrote this almost 21 years ago to the day. I wrote it on November 17th, 2000. And I was just, I don't know, it's so beautiful here, and it's very blustery fall-like weather. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and it would be what would be considered a perfect Thanksgiving day. And this that I'm about to read you is something that I wrote about. It's called 22 Pies, and it is when I was a little girl. We lived in a beautiful home. It had 4 bedrooms, 1 bath, and 9 humans. And my mom and dad had 7 kids, and we, at Thanksgiving, we would all, when my brothers and sisters, I'm the youngest of 7, they were older, they were getting married, having kids, and they were having them at a very rapid rate. I ended up having, little babies start to come in my life when I was 7 years old. I was an aunt, and it was a wonderful time. Our family was just growing at leaps and bounds, and it was very exciting for me to be able to sit on the sidelines and watch this all happen while my family was just growing at an incredible rate. And what would happen, my mom and dad always hosted Thanksgiving, and I was telling someone about this the other day. I believe there was a time we even brought in the picnic table and just put it in the living room. So we had a great big huge family table in the kitchen. And then we also had a nice sized living room, and of course all the furniture would be surrounding. But we just had chairs and people, everywhere. A lot of, I have 2 brothers, but all of my sisters, there were 4 of them. So they all had boyfriends or husbands, and with children, sometimes it just got crazy. And my mom never wanted to give up on having Thanksgiving at her house. It was her favorite holiday. We were very traditional. We had the turkey, the stuffings. My mom made homemade noodles for many, many years. My brother was in charge of gravy, and he would just make this huge vat of gravy, you could call it, and he would be in there, my brother Richard, tending to it, stirring, just adding one more person to the kitchen and the stove. And it was very exciting to see, and the holiday itself was just amazing because everybody got together. And we're not perfect. There would be fights and squabbles, and if it was a really chilly day, we've got all this heat going on in the kitchen, but it's too cold to really open up doors and windows. So it was always chaos, but it was also filled with love. So after my mom passed away, it was in spring of 1997, a lot of those memories and things came to me. And I, as a writer, you just write about everything. And, just heartfelt messages coming through. So I wanted to share with you something that I wrote. One year there was some confusion. And all of my sisters and sister-in-laws, everybody was in charge of bringing something to help out. And one year, my mom accidentally, somehow, there was confusion, and my mom made several pies, but somehow everybody thought they were supposed to bring pie. And we had a big family kitchen, a big family kitchen, a big, a nice sized kitchen, and it had a great big long countertop, the one main thing. And instead of that being able to house any other kind of dishes or anything, that we would be on deck to be eating and kind of do like a buffet, it was absolutely filled with pies. And we all got a kick out of it, and everybody that came in had pies. And my mom, she kind of did one of them things where she would run her hands through her hair and say, "Oh, well." And she was just a wonderful woman, and she really enjoyed this holiday. So I'm going to read to you again. As I had mentioned, I'm testing out the sound. I hope it sounds good. And I will go ahead and read to you 22 pies. There were 22 pies. She didn't know when she told them all that they would bring them big and small. There were pies of cherry, pies of berries, some apple, some creamy. The best was her pie she made of milk. While I watched her year after year, she would say with a certain smile, "Stir with your finger, that's the final touch." Little did I know how those few words would mean so much. Still, none of us know how she really did that, creating a pie of nutmeg and milk. I suppose I couldn't make that pie. I suppose it would be too much to try. But the memory and smell can take me right there, my family and mother, so much to share. I wasn't old enough yet, still living at home. I will never forget this holiday and what it meant to me. My siblings probably do not know. It was they, each year, on this day, of all others, that I could not wait to see them, my sisters and brothers. We all used to live there at one time, now off on their own, some married, some divorced, relationships shared, good and bad, ended and began. How lucky we all had. We didn't know then, not one of us, that while Thanksgiving will surely arrive every year, who we would share it with would seem to appear, changing too fast. This type of Thanksgiving, well, it just doesn't last. The house would be hot. Ventilation was not a key. Opening the back door, though it was a freezing degree, but just all the same, I watched and couldn't wait till I would have my own family to share and we would celebrate. My imagined children at the time, with cousins and aunts and uncles plenty. Then I was too young, and fate would not allow my years to reach, well, I wasn't even 20. It was early November. Dad died. I was 21. The end of Thanksgivings, as we knew it, had just begun. Mom, she didn't even want to celebrate, although we tried to keep tradition. Nothing was the same in that warm and crowded, yet somehow empty kitchen. We were all different and knew it would be never the same, though we tried effortlessly. We did it for her, I suppose us too, many times again. Some came, some having other arrangements. These vacancies, they all began. But just the same, this was the holiday where this family knew you could be there between 2:30 or 3, and there we would all be. Entering the door, all covered with steam, scattered in couches and chairs. A day of football, too. Now and then, the men would scream. Around the table you would find many conversations and laughter, too. Some at the stove, others at the sink. At times it seemed you couldn't even think. Under this roof called home, there she would always be. I knew she was pleased, yet trying her best to look happy. In time it was tired she became, and less she could do, so we would try to fill those voids, but we all felt it too. Here it was, the beginning of the end of our family tradition, and none of us wanting to admit, never did we want to quit. Many years went by, Thanksgiving we tried, and before we knew, she was gone, our mother, the glue. That's when we really fell apart, and I wonder all the time, well, I know they feel it too. As Thanksgivings continue to come and go, while our own traditions continue to grow, with our own blessings and offspring we try to create, with mention and memory we can celebrate. We plan and we cook and tell others it went just so, but not the same. You might hear one of us say, still those we know will never understand the love, the sharing, the fighting we would all accomplish in our special annual November Family Day. And so it goes, this message for those that may just see this holiday as another year of turkey and dressing. Take your minute, look around the table with those you share, and see each year and those there as a gift and a privilege, blessing within it. So that is my 22 pies, and it brought me joy in the beginning to read it because I haven't read it for a while. But as I was reading it, I heard the neighbor's dog, and it kind of made me giggle because I think it's going to come through, but that's all right with me. I feel very blessed to be able to be doing what I'm doing and sharing my words with the universe. I think that was something that was always planned, and now I'm living the dream. Again, a girl with a microphone. And I feel very blessed, but I will tell you, as I'm kind of thankful for that dog next door, because it was really hard for me to read that. And some years, this is the anniversary of my dad passing away, and it's just a day that marks his death, but I feel like that you never know when it's going to hit you. You can be walking by a mirror and suddenly you look just like your mom or your dad, and it can stop you right dead in your tracks, and you just kind of buckle over. And believe me, it's been 40 years since my dad passed away, and just sometimes you just miss him a little bit more than others. So reading that really did put the old pictures in my mind of our home and our family, and I just really want to thank you guys at this time of being grateful and thankful, but I'm grateful and thankful for you, for listening, for being a part of this, for your messages, and if you're so inclined and you think somebody might enjoy this message, please share it. This is a unique thing I'm doing. It's not about politics, and it's not about hate. It is about just mainly getting my words out from the bins and the files, and I just really want to thank you. I appreciate every one of you so much, and I'm thankful for you. So I hope you are all having a good day, and if you're not, I always pray. I pray for our universe. I pray for my friends and family, but I just really want to thank you guys for listening. This is Bev. This is the Bev D Show on November 11th, 2021. Veterans Day, but also, my dad died 40 years ago on this day. And I've been missing him lately, a lot more than, some other times of year and things like that. So I just want to thank you, and take care. And if you're thinking that nobody loves you, I do. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. This is Bev. The Bev